Hello, it's day 6, and I want to talk about calorie counters. We're in my utility room today. The rest of the house is way too loud, so I apologize for the echo beforehand. Back in the early 2010s, the first calorie counter that I was ever introduced to was Spark People. I really loved Spark People. Back in the day, that was like the cream of the crop as far as calorie counters go. It was great. It had a built-in community. You could get on the forums, you could talk to people. It wasn't just a calorie counter. Not to mention you could configure it. You could put in all of the meals you were going to eat beforehand. You could save them. You could modify them. You could quickly duplicate them. Man, I really loved Spark People. But like all of the apps that I've loved in my life, it succumbed to the kind of decay that, man, is just disappointing. Before long, it was less about the community and more about the ads. There wasn't really anything you could do. The features just deteriorated, the pop-ups got more annoying, and eventually I moved on to something else. It was really disappointing though, because I really loved Spark People back in the day. If you go back and download it now, man, it's just a shadow of what it used to be. And then a couple years later, I tried MyFitnessPal. I feel like MyFitnessPal is the one that everybody knows these days, but I just never liked MyFitnessPal as much. Like, yeah, there's a community, but it's not as big, it's not as robust and hopeful as the Spark People community was. And maybe that's just a problem with me, maybe I just outgrew the whole diet community thing. Do we count as a diet community, me and you? How many people does it need to be a diet community? That's really hard to say. And another thing I didn't like so much about MyFitnessPal is just how inundated it is with user-submitted foods. I don't know if you guys have realized this, but users in a community like MyFitnessPal are really terrible at, recording their foods. I have seen more entries with incorrect calorie and nutrition information on MyFitnessPal than I have seen pretty much anywhere in my life. And yeah, you could just record the foods that come with the green check mark that say that they're verified, but not every food is on there. Not every food has been verified. So a lot of times you're out and about in the world, you can't really check the nutrition label because you don't have it right in front of you, and you just kind of have to trust that some weirdo on the other side of the country has put in the calories of this particular pack of chips correctly. Maybe it's the control freak in me, but I don't really like that. I was pretty happy with MyFitnessPal until, again, the ad creep started. I know a lot of people who still use MyFitnessPal. My dad, for instance, he still uses it. But I'm starting to see the same thing happen to MyFitnessPal as what happened to Spark People back in the day. It's less disappointing because I don't like MyFitnessPal as much, but still, there goes another one. Lost in the vortex of mobile ads. And don't get me started about how you can pay to remove the ads. You'll never get me to do it. The most recent calorie counter that I have tried has been LifeSum. LifeSum is my least favorite of the three. Think Duolingo, but a calorie counter. They've got a cute little mascot who annoys you throughout the day. Hey, you forgot to record your lunch. Don't forget to drink water. Exercise is important. And I don't have anything against cute mascots, but it does grate after a couple weeks. And the whole point of a calorie counter is to keep yourself accountable, so you don't want to turn off the notifications with the little annoying guy. Something I've realized over the course of my life is that the best diets are the ones with the lowest pain in the ass factor. The more of a pain in the ass something is to do, the less likely I am to do it long term. And I don't think that's like unique to me. If something is a pain, of course you're going to start avoiding it if you can. And especially if the only person you're holding yourself accountable to is yourself. If you are the one giving motivation to yourself, if you are the one giving discipline to yourself, then it's very easy to justify giving something up because it's too much of a pain. And I'll just go ahead and say it. Calorie counters are a pain. They make me feel like I'm doing taxes. And like I said, I am a fat person who hates thinking about food. So annoying, and I wish I could be a normal person who can just eat normally. I used calorie counters for years, and I do credit Spark People and MyFitnessPal for bringing me down from my mystery highest weight to whatever weight I'm at right now, a more manageable high weight. But really, when it comes to calorie counting, I'm good for about 2 or 3 days before the pain in the ass factor becomes too much. I've come to terms with the fact that the reason all of my diets are failing lately is because I hate tracking calories. And tracking calories has been the central cornerstone of all of the diets I've tried so far. But don't get me wrong, if you want to lose weight, you have to create a calorie deficit. And one of the easiest ways to do that is by tracking everything you eat. It's not the only way to create a calorie deficit, though. I'm thinking on the Franken diet, instead of having an annoying calorie tracker with the little mascot or the invasive ads, what if I just use a notebook? What if I just go old school with this thing and just use a little notepad and just write down what I've eaten? You guys may not know this about me, but I'm actually a math teacher in my real life when I'm not doing this. So why am I relying on an app to add and subtract calories for me? Can I not do that myself? But the notebook might end up being a big pain in the ass. I'm actually not sure what is going to work. If the notebook doesn't work, maybe I need to do the thing where I just start taking pictures of everything I eat. Is that weird? How do you maintain a calorie deficit without feeling like you're budgeting money? That's what it feels like. It feels like budgeting money. And you know what? I have to budget my money every day anyway. I don't want to have to budget my calories too, but it's going to happen. So yeah, I'm thinking notebook. Notebook for the low pain in the ass factor. Notebook because it doesn't have mobile ads. Notebook because it's easy to slip in my purse. Notebook. It's going to be a notebook. Rest in peace, Spark People. I miss you more and more every day.